Hey guys, today we're going to be learning how to put PlayStation 1 games, PSX games, on pretty much any PSP that's a newer custom firmware, but today we'll be doing 6.60 PRO-B9, I think. I'll turn on the PSP and show you that is what it is, and then we'll get to work on the laptop. And I'll show you how to create your the games using ISO images or IMG, whatever, anything of the PS1 games. Version 6.60. Alright, of course you're going to need to hack your PSP with Pro, and when you do that you'll run this first, the Pro update, and then you'll use fast recovery to rehack it every time it turns off. So I'll just do that, and while that's rehacking we will learn how to actually create the PSX games. Alright, now first thing you need to do is you're going to have to download the Red Squirrel GUI Pop Station MD multi-disc, and once you do that you'll open the folder, and if you're on 7 or Vista you have to right click and run as administrator just to be safe. And there it is. Now, the game we're going to be making today is going to be Chrono Cross by Square Enix now. You'll have to find out how to download the images yourself online. I can't really provide that for you. But once you download those images, there, I'll show you. I already have mine, CD1 and CD2. This one is a 2 CD PSX game. What you do is you hit browse the first CD and find it, obviously. And once you do, just double click, and now find the second CD. You find that, double click, and now you gotta choose your game title, which comes with the game code. It loads a list for you. There is a website I'll provide in the description that will give you that will have a compatibility list to show you like the right code to put in with which game to make it work correctly with PSPs using Pop Station. And there's my game, Chrono Cross. You can disc 1, disc 2, they're usually the same thing. So just hit OK, and it adds this in for you. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a different code for this game to make it work better, but it doesn't really matter as I've already made this. I've already made this e-boot before. And if you want to add like the pictures and stuff and not have it just be a default thing that says PlayStation 1, you can browse for them. I already downloaded it. It's called an e-boot pack, and I already downloaded one. See, there's like pictures, you get to choose in between which one, and you can figure all that out. It's not hard. And then once you do that, you just hit make, and then it'll finish, and it'll give you it'll be in that folder where you open the Pop Station MD. In data will be usually a thing called eboot.pbp. I don't have one in here because I've already taken it out. And now we'll go back to the PSP, and I'll show you its hack just real quick. There's a fish menu. You don't have that if it's not hacked. So go into USB mode, plug in the cable. Okay. Now we'll open system storage on here. And I'm also going to show you how to use Pop's Loader, which is a plugin for your PSP that allows you to pretty much run the PlayStation game on like an older firmware, even though you're at a newer firmware. Say you're at 6.60 right now, but you go on that website that I provide for you, and it says that the game only runs on 4.00. That's fine because you'll have a thing called Pop's Loader, which looks like that, in the file folder, and as you'll see, it has every PSP firmware that is able to run PS1 games up to 6.39 because you are on 6.60, so you don't need that. And yeah, and what you'll do for that is I'll provide a link for that also in the description, and it'll be this .rar, and you'll open it up, extract those files to the SE plugins folder on your PSP, and then you'll have to go to your recovery menu and enable it. See, SE plugins is just right on the root with everything else, and if it's not there, create it and just copy everything over. And if you don't have a PSP Go, you'll want to edit this file and change EFO to MS0. And yeah, because PSP Goes, that's for system storage, is EF0, and you'll want it MS0 for your regular PSP for memory stick. And you just copy everything there, and I will show you that I have the game. There's Chrono Cross. This is the file that you will find in the data folder of the Red Squirrel's PopStation MD. You just copy it into the PSP game folder, PSP, then go into game and create a folder that says Final Fantasy, Chrono Cross, you know, something, Dragon Ball Z, whatever, and then you put the e-boot inside there, and then after that you can go on the PSP, get out of USB mode, and in order to enable that plugin, you need to go to the recovery menu and then find plugins. For PSP Goes, you'll go to system storage, but for other ones, for regular PSP, Slims, Fats, whatever, it'll just show up. It'll say Pops Loader, .prx, Pops, and you have to enable it. Mine's already enabled. I can disable it, and I can re-enable it. And now that is it. And you go back, just go into here. If you enable it for the first time and it's not enabled already, you'll want to actually do this. Seemed to slip my mind. Go to reset VSH, Vish, and that just resets the PSP without unhacking it, so you don't have to rerun the hack. So it's just pretty convenient, and it makes sure that that plugin works. See, here is Chrono Cross, and I used some of those from the e-boot pack to make it look like this. All you do is hit X, or I think you hold R and hit X. I think you hold R and hit X when you run it, and it loads that menu to see what you want to, yeah. You hold R and hit X and when you start it up, and you can pick from all those to load from. If that website tells you a different version that you should run your game on for it to work perfectly. I'm running mine on Flash, from Flash, which is 6.60, which is Flash means whatever firmware you're on. And it will remember it for you, so you don't have to do it every time. But if you would like to change it, you hold R and do it again. And then here, see, it's starting up. Alright. Now, I'm pretty sure that this game has a special trick to actually make it work, is if it doesn't start or get to the title screen, this game, you would go to this menu and you would reset the game on the second disc, and then once you actually started, you'd switch it back to the first disc. That doesn't really work for all games, but I actually have to do it on this one. Reset to disc 2. See, it starts loading again, and then once it starts loading and you hit load game or new game or whatever, obviously it'll require disc 1 if you select new game, and then it'll work. That's about it. Yep, see, now it actually starts loading. Here's some sound. Forgot I had it all the way down. Press start. Now, let's hit new game. Vibrate doesn't matter because obviously there's no vibrate. Insert disc 1. Switch discs. Disc 1. Yes. And now it will load. And that is all you have to do. You do that with every single game that you want to download. Not all of them work, keep in mind.